Hello, 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 welcome in. This is like a little party place right behind me here. If you clicked on this video, there is absolutely something for you, because Gaia does not show these things randomly. It's not every video that comes in front of you. There is a complete orchestration, and you might think that that's technology, but what is behind and orchestrating everything is Gaia and all this energy world. And that's what we're talking about here, to embody who you truly are and the teachings of Jeshua and human energy. How to truly land your light here and operate these bodies in the best way that you can. And that's the thing. We are all on different stages of this journey. And some might be reactive and have that as the habitual. Just like there's an inside that just like pushes out almost automatically. That is the habitual. That is in all of us. Whatever that happens, those things happen, or trigger sadness or whatever. Like in any single different situation, something can happen. Because of whatever it is that maybe you are going through something and then that triggered someone else, and there's a whole orchestration of healing as well happening between people. But if we think that it's about the thing, we're gonna miss it, because it's about the underlying energy. What is actually going on underneath the surface? What actually is happening with the energy? You can't just have a thought about how something should be and expect everyone to adhere to it. And if you don't, you push and you attack with the energy. Maybe the words are like, oh yeah, no, it's so good. Or maybe a little snarky, because it's hard to keep that energy completely contained, because it's so clear what that being is thinking and feeling. You know, whatever it might be for you, right? And that's the very thing. All these other things, they are sort of like getting you to that thing, which is, did you react? You just reacted because your body had a reaction. That's not very mature, you know? Or yeah, it's not very mature, and it's okay. It's just that recognize what you're doing. Don't think that you're right because of the thought. Recognize that the thought got you to react. That's the thing. Expectancy. We are here creating rules in the society. Oh yeah, we're used to this in this country and we're used to that in this country, so you have to adhere to us. No, that's not how it works. Everyone has to adhere to human energy, to the truth of energy. That's what's truly going on here. Because if you are sneaky with your energy, pushing, that's what you're doing, regardless of what the thing is. If you expect, like a waiter, expecting tip, and then, oh, it was takeaway, and then there's no tip when it's takeaway. You know, this is an example. That happened to us. That was the instigation for this video. So we are alchemizing that to knowledge for this being, you know? And this is such a great lesson for all of us. Don't be so fast to go with the energy of the body. Stay centered. Feel what's going on. We could feel a lot of movement in the second chakra, like vroom, like really a lot of power. Great, a lot of movement. That's good. But it was pushing to us. So it was trying to get us to do an action when there was nothing eliciting that in energy. There was no heart. There was no, I want to serve you. No. You know? Tipping is a very interesting thing if it's expected. We have experienced this one time. We are not from the US, and so we're used to a whole different tipping. We're pretty much used to no tipping in our culture, if you want to go there. But that's besides the point. The point is, what is the definition of a tip? A tip is, first of all, when there is service. If you're just buying a beverage and you're taking it away, you're not really getting a service. Although I know that many of these they sort of, they would like to have tip anyway, of course. So the little gadgets have like these tips, and that's okay. Yeah, it's up to the people to press, you know. But then if most people are doing it, then there's an expectancy, and that's where it's not correct. Are you getting something? Are you getting service? Are you getting someone actually looking after you? We didn't feel any of that. So there was that also. We felt the opposite. We felt push, control, manipulation with a smile, with a pretend. Not so much pretend actually, which was satisfying in one way, because we're used to more pretend. And here it was a little bit more obvious. Yeah, it was very manipulative, very manipulative. And we didn't budge. We just said no. And we could feel that was triggering. And that's okay. It's okay that something is triggering, you know. But that doesn't change the fact that what we did was correct. We are just taking away. We even gave options. We gave some options. And these are the everyday situations. Beautiful birds there. These are the everyday situations that are sort of trying to hijack your attention and get you to focus there and waste your energy. That's all what that does. And so it's much better to redirect that energy and just observe. You know, observe what's going on, feel. Then you're using your feelings too to sense what's going on in other people. And if you feel someone, it sort of feels like someone is punching you in the stomach energetically when someone does that. And that's someone doing it to you. Whether they are aware of it or not, they are doing that with their energy. And so it's important to pay attention. And it's hard to detect these things unless you have been alone for quite some time and that you know what your energy is normally. Otherwise it's tricky to detect these things. And if you're in it, and if you're in a thing like this, definitely you can't see it. It's very tricky to see it, you know. But we don't want to argue with someone. This is what people do, because they feel that push, because someone is pushing them and try to control, and then people just end up in a fight because no one wants to be controlled. And that's what it is. It's just a signal. So you don't have to react to the signal. It's just a signal so you can get what's going on in your surroundings. And that's cool. It's like learning how to see properly. It's learning how to see with a different sense. You can say that it's the third eye, but it's not really the imagery that we're talking about, not that type of seeing. It's more feeling and making sense of the feeling, and not respond and react right away, so that you are paying attention. Is this mine? Is this someone else? Where is this coming from? Right? If it's someone that's talking to you, it's very clear who it's coming from, you know, because they can be like this oomph to what they're saying, you know, the putting a tail on the right, you know, like there are all these sneaky ways to try and get someone's attention with energy. So there are many sneaky ways. And the main thing is not to avoid these things happening, because sometimes life, right? But it's how you respond. Do you let so there was a few things. Do you let yourself give in to the pressure? We didn't, right? That's one thing. So we're proud of that, because it's very easy to feel that pressure and, oh yeah, of course I'm gonna tip you, you know, or like, oh, social shame, you know, God forbid. This is how people are manipulated and controlled, pushed. And so recognize when someone is doing that, not budging. First of all, recognizing is key. The sooner the better. And then just when you feel that punch, the sooner you recognize it, the better you get at this game. Because then you know immediately who it was. Because it will be in that moment. They said something, or they did something, or there was something. And it doesn't mean that you have to respond right away. You can just feel. But of course, if you're in a conversation, it's good to be able to respond some things. We said the point, but what we saw after was like, wow, we just saw all of the manipulation and control in this being, you know? And it's like, all right, that's where that being is at, you know? And that's okay. That's okay. But it's not mine. You see? You see how these energies move now? They move sort of like this, a little bit covert, through people. That's really about mastering your human energy so that you don't react to those things, but you, at the very least, not give in or anything. That's a big step. But then there are more, what you would say, more finesse. There are ways to do this with more finesse. And that is where we're heading. This is our practice with the body. Clearly. Because otherwise Gaia wouldn't put this being in front of our faces like this, so bluntly attacking. And so bluntly we could feel it so clearly. But we were still surprised that someone would actually do such a thing. you know, that we don't know. That's what was interesting. And this is the journey in frequency. Get better and better at maintaining your own energy, and don't allow anyone to rock your boat. Stay in your lane. Do you do your thing, you know. Weave your magic here. This is our magic, so this is a gift for us to be able to decipher all of this to you with someone that has willed herself to be part of this conversation by doing that with us specifically. Life is always here to nudge us to the next level. If you wish to join with us and elevate in frequency to embody more of this alignment where health these parrots are awesome. I love the sound of them. If you wish to join us, there's a link below. Take care, and thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and we'll see you again in the next one. Ciao.